What is up, YouTube? We are back at it again with another video. Today we are working on a 2005 Ford Explorer. We're going to be doing basically all the front suspension on it. It's pretty bad. Customer was like, I'm trying to give it to my daughter, but we're trying to make it safe for her to drive. With the winter coming, roads are bad, you know, so let's get right into it. So my bad, guys, but I already started taking it apart. So you take off your wheel. You're gonna start off with whatever part you want to start off with, right? So caliper bracket bolts are gonna be an 18 for that, and then you have your sway bar link. That's gonna be a 16 millimeter nut on top. You're gonna use one of these guys. Hold it from the bottom so it can spin on you. Take the nut off the top. Then you remove this guy completely. He had them new, but we're putting new ones again. You have a 21 for the outer tie rod. Pop that out. You have a 30 millimeter axle nut. That's for this guy here. He also have these replaced already. And then, if I believe so, you have a 18 mil for the top ball joint. And then you have a 24 for the bottom ball joint. I'd recommend throwing some heat on them, at least to get to this portion. Get yourself a caliper hook so you don't damage the caliper, your caliper lines. But I'll be right back. Let me throw some heat on the control arm bolts from the back. Make sure we don't snap them or anything like that. And we'll be right back. All right, guys. So as you can see, bottom control arm is off. There's two nuts that hold it. One there, one there. Those are going to be 22 millimeter nuts. And then on this side, you got this big guy that slides right through it, which is a 24 millimeter on both sides. I suggest you heat up this nut, which is the inside of it, as much as you can. Get it blazing red hot. Use one of these guys. And then use the breaker bar to loosen it. Once you get it out, you can throw your 24 on this guy and zip it out. Once you get that, once you lower those out, you got to make sure you take that bolt off, because that's an aligning pin, I guess. There's a hole, I don't know if you guys can see it right there, that notch. That guy sits right in that notch, so we have to put that on the new control arm, just in case it does not come with it. But if it comes with it, then we're good. So that part's done. We'll move. All right, guys, we're back. So you could either take these out, which are on the sides, or these two sit into this right there, and those are a 22. So once you take those out, you can basically just pry this piece of the control arm down, and then just somehow like finagle it out. Well, there you go. So this piece is out. Now we could get the strut and the inner and outer tie rod out, and then we'll be close to being done from one side, at least taking parts off of it. All right, guys. So we finally got the front off. My bad. So it's basically sits like that. Has three studs, one in the middle. The middle one holds the whole thing together. Mine didn't want to come off. I tried my best heating the bolts up. They were just rusted and corroded, and they just kept spinning. So all my sockets were spinning on them. So I cut the studs off first. And I accidentally didn't think twice. I thought that the strut was being held on from the center as well, but no. Be very careful when you do that. I took the nut off the top that holds the whole thing together, and it just shot straight down because it was compressed. But once you cut the three studs off, if you can't get them off, I believe it's like a 13 or a 12 millimeter, but I tried both, and it was just spinning on both. It might be stuck on there. You're gonna need your air hammer, if you have one of these guys, right between this bracket and that guy, hammer it through. It should just drop your strut. New one comes with the new studs. It's already done. Save yourself the headache of not having to deal with all that extra stuff. Just buy them already loaded. You don't have to compress them and do all that extra stuff. Just buy them loaded already. You save yourself a lot of time. All right, guys. Once you got that done, we're going to move on to the inner and outer tie rods. Turn the wheel all the way to the side that you're working on, and it's going to push this arm completely out, right? So you won't have to be working all the way back there. And then you could use an inner tie rod removal tool. I have them, but the faster way would be just putting a pipe wrench on it. And then as you see, you break it loose. Passenger side, you're going to go towards the left. Driver's side, you're going to go towards your left. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Come on, guys. It's simple shit. Once you got that, we get that out, then we could measure them. Once they're measured, we could put the new ones together. And then we have to put this boot back on. There's one thing you got to pay attention to. The boot disconnect to that little tube in there, which is probably a breather or some type of device for this. So make sure you have to put that back on and then put your band back on it so it won't leak anything out. But to get this guy out of here without having to take this guy out, after we measure, we'll probably just cut it off, slide it out, put it on the new one, call it a day. So let me take this off real quick, and then we'll start putting other new parts on. And then basically that's how you do the whole passenger side on a Ford Explorer 2005. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. New control arm, new strut, inner and outer tie rods, lower control arm, new sway bar links. He didn't want to do rotors or that. The axle's brand new. Boom. There's two washers, but they're squared washers with two pinholes on it. This part on the top where the bolt from this arm goes through, it aligns it, so it aligns his control arm perfectly in place. So don't lose those, because that's the alignment for the top, for the camber alignment. And then the bottom, it's that screw that I told you. I probably threw it off just a tad bit. I know that I'm probably going to have to do the inner and outer tie rod to straighten the wheel out. But other than that, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe. And if you guys want this handy dandy flashlight, there you go, guys. Super sick. The heads don't detach. These stay on there. You could turn one off at a time, leave one on. But as you can see, from this being on the back of my head, that's how bright it is to work with. Thanks.